William is with us in Pensacola, Florida. Hi, William. How are you?
Doing fantastic, sir. Thank you for asking.
Sure.
How
How can
about
we help?
yourself? Yes. So I had a quick question for you. Much the similar as the same caller in her living situation. After taxes, I don't make much more than minimum wage, and I've been carrying the car loan that I have now for a little over 2 years. My question was, is it worth refinancing the vehicle to try and free up some extra money so I can afford a place to live by myself and not live with my parents anymore? Or what's the best course of action?
How much?
Before he responds, so he's asking if he should refinance the car to free up some extra capital, some extra cash flow, so he can get a place by himself. To the best of what I understand, this is a $13,000 loan. I can only imagine how much the payment is on this $13,000 loan. So, off the top of my head, I'm thinking it wouldn't really make sense to refinance this loan because this is without seeing any of the evidence. He'd refinance the loan of $13,000, for another 6 or 7 years. I'm assuming 6 or 7 years to get the payment lower, because you would need to stretch out the loan if his goal is to lower the payment. And rather than he's had the loan already for 2 years. I remember him saying he's had a loan for 2 years. So I don't think it would be the best move to refinance the loan for 6 or 7 years. I would imagine that it might be smarter to continue on the path that he's on. But I've cut too much already. Let's see what Dave has to say.
How much do you owe on your car?
Yeah.
What was that?
How much do you owe on your car?
I have 13,000 left.
What kind of car is it, William?
It's a 2017 Ford Focus.
Not gonna lie, those aren't great cars, but
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 26 in March.
Okay. And why? Tell me about your career, because it sounds like you have an income problem.
Yes, sir. I don't have much of a career at the moment. I fell on some hard times and a troubled upbringing, so I'm just really just trying to overcome a lot of that and start making my own efforts to get into a career now.
What?
So what I will say, I mean, we've all had hard times. I come from not the most abundant times, let's say. I don't necessarily come from hard times, but my parents were very loving, and again, they're immigrant Jamaicans. But the positives from what I'm hearing is that he wants to learn, he wants to develop, and he might need to fail forward, but that's all progression. A lot of people don't realize, or a lot of people don't act upon. There's so many resources at our fingertips nowadays. YouTube, the platform school, friends, the internet. There's so many resources for you yourself to learn and to develop yourselves. And you have Dave Ramsey here who takes phone calls and kind of talks with you. Don't get me wrong, he's a little bit raw, he's a little bit uncut, but he's giving you a straightforward answer. So let's continue on with the video.
What's preventing you from getting a solid job? I know you said hard times, but like without saying too much of the personal information, what's preventing you from getting a good quality job?
Probably experience.
Okay. Do you have any education?
I have self-taught, so it's not viewed the same, but I have enough of a generalized understanding.
And
that
what are you
I
doing?
could probably take.
What are you doing right now, William, for a
programming.
career?
I'm working in a college, basically intergrades.
Okay. Okay. All right. Here's my thing. I agree with Dave. You have an income problem and you're young. And so I think right now, until you can land a solid career, and I want to connect you with our career expert, Ken Coleman. But before you go over there are two practical things you could be doing right now. You have a 2017 car, quality car. And just the other day on the show, we found Dr. John Deloney and ourselves met a young man your age making about $6,000 a month just off of delivering for Uber Eats and for just doing Uber, period. And so your income problem could be fixed if you're willing to really put in the work. And so if I was you with a 2017 car right now, immediately when I hang up the phone, I'm registering with Uber. You're in Florida, which is wide open. I would start driving people around on top of what you're doing, then get connected with Ken Coleman to figure out what is your sweet spot, how can you get into a career that will set you up to win. But right now, you don't even have the money to move out with your parents. You got $13,000 in debt. So we need to get your income up. And then your first priority, yes, is to get out on your own. And then we need to talk about how do we get you out of this debt and don't rack up any more debt. But today, immediately, William, I need you to kind of like, say this respectfully, step up. It's time for you to become the young man that you are and going ahead, get on an Uber, find you something you can do today that can start generating you an extra $5,000 to $1,000 a week immediately.
Yeah. I don't know what you've been facing with your hard times. I can't, obviously we don't have that information. But the answer to your question is you only owe $13,000 on the car. If you told me it was 33,000 and you're making minimum wage, I would have said just sell the car.
Yeah.
Oh, I would agree. And I forgot the brother's name on the left here, but his points are valid. This gentleman, William, he's young. He's in his mid-20s. And again, we all go through hard times. We all had our own set of cards dealt to us. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. It's what you do moving forward and day by day that determines what your next day's outcome will be. I was thinking this to myself the other day because my wife and I just had a baby shower. We just had family in town and everything, and I was out on the back porch, veranda, whatever you call it, and my mom passed 8 years ago, and I'm just talking to her, and I'm just like, man, you try and think 10 years into the future, but all you can really do is react day by day, the immediate. Don't get me wrong, you try and plan for the future, but at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day, you have to take care of what's going on right now. But to his point, there are ways for him to generate extra cash. He only has $13,000 in debt, which is on a car loan. You can't sell that car. You can you can get out. It's $13,000 isn't nothing, but it is minimal compared to there's people $155,000 in debt, $400,000 in debt, $1.5 million in debt. There are worse situations. So he's not in the worst situation, but he's in a situation and he just has to figure out what his next course plan of action will be. Let's see what Dave has to say.
Selling this car does not fix your situation because it's not really your problem. The fact that it's pinching you is because of your income more than it's because of the debt or the size of the car payment, that kind of a thing. And so, yeah, your issue is career, short term and long term. And we've got to get your income up short term, and Anthony outlined that for you, and then long term. So hang on, and Kelly will pick up, and we'll get you hooked up with a Ken Coleman book, The Proximity Principle, and she can also set you on his website and help you with some of the interview techniques and some of the things that he's teaching, which are absolutely fabulous.
Dave, you're a father, and I just got to ask you this question because I'm seeing this more and more with this younger generation. They're at home, they don't have a good job, and I feel as if part of that is, and a huge part of that is on the young man or the young lady. But would you agree or disagree with me that a huge part of that also is on the parent? You're allowing.
Um, what's his name? I just forgot his name already. But in a sense, yes. Um, in another sense, no. I'll start with no first. The world does not. They are not. What's the right word I'm looking for? They are not. What's the word I'm looking for? They're not motivated, or they're not. It doesn't benefit the masses, or not even the masses, the top percents of the world, to teach financial literacy to everyone else. America is $31 trillion in debt, people. 5 trillion in car loans. What, 13, I think, in real estate and other stuff. Credit cards. I mean, it adds up. This capitalistic way of life, it does not benefit the average. It does not benefit the below average. It does not benefit the people that do not take it upon themselves to learn, to better themselves, um, to understand how things, money works. We live in a society where we need money is the tool. It it really is. And if you want to better your life, if you want to better your your being, if you want to have more freedom, I guess everyone does, you need to understand how money works and how to make money work for you. To the other point, it is on the parents in a sense, because shame on them for not learning or teaching. A, for not learning the ways, and B, for not teaching their next generation what they've learned. Whether that's very, very little to a lot. Um, that is the a big thing with generations. The previous generation needs to pass down the knowledge of what they've learned, experienced, gone through, failed, and moved forward from. Everything. It needs to be what to do and what not to do. The best experience is someone else's experience. That needs to be passed down. And in that sense, yes, it is on the parents for not stepping up in that sense as well. I think his name's Anthony. But we're about halfway through this video, so
Your son or daughter to come home to be 26, 27, 30 years old, making $30,000 a year? Like, how is that advancing them forward?
Well, yeah, I mean, mom and dad's attitude about the whole thing affects the young person's attitude as well. So if mom and dad are like, well, pandemic and it's bad out there and there's no jobs and they got a negative attitude about everything. They don't see any positive way to go make money. And oh, you can't do Uber because you can't be socially distanced, or you can't have enough masks on, or whatever. I don't know what it is. I mean, but if mom and dad are saying, well, I mean, you're screwed. You can't do anything, so you might as well live at home. Instead of saying, step up, man up here, and let's get going, which is what you did. To
pretty much what I just said as well. The previous generation really has to step up, and whether they only know one thing, whether they know 1,000 things, they need to step up and spin a positive light, or or offer a way to do something, or you need to adapt. My aunt was here from London over the weekend, and the big thing is we need to adapt. We Wheels used to not be a thing. Internet used to not be a thing. Cell phones used to not be a thing. Social media used to not be a thing. The world is constantly changing, evolving, adapting. There are new ways. New ways become old ways. Old ways become obsolete. It's a continuous thing. But when you throw your hands up and say, that's it, game over, it will be eventually game over. You need to adapt. And most importantly, you need to tell the next generation what you went through, what's happened. You need to step up. You really do.
With this guy, and so it's I grew up. One of the blessings of the household I grew up in was mom and dad were entrepreneurial, and so if you didn't have any money, it's just because you didn't have any ideas and you weren't working. So you need an idea and you get to work on it because there's always a way to make money. I mean, you can walk dogs, you can mow lawns, you can clean out gutters, you can pressure wash driveways. You can, teenage jobs I have done. I've shoveled out stuff out of houses that I don't even want to think about.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's all, and you'd be amazed what people will pay you to do if you will bother. Go get you a leaf blower. Rich people are afraid of leaves. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people can do. But mom and dad, my parents had that entrepreneurial spirit, and so we weren't allowed to not work.
Yes.
And B, we weren't allowed to not be dreaming about a better life while we were working.
That's good.
And instead of just like, well, the little man can't get ahead, you're just stuck, the pandemic's got you, and this generation, you just can't get anything, and you're just bad. Now, God, man, when I was your age, there was lots of opportunities. You guys ain't got any opportunities. There's nothing out there to do. And good Lord, with technology right now, you can start about 6 businesses by nightfall.
Yes. And when I hear that, Dave, I get so frustrated. And I had to ask you because...
Well, I think most parents are between. They're between hard driving entrepreneurs like mine were and, Eeyore that I just painted up, right?
Yeah.
So they're somewhere between. But I think the thing mom and dad can do is speak life over this situation, speak blessings over this situation. And it's not false encouragement or false positive thinking or something like that you just dream up. It's just really believing that if you get out there and you push things around, something will fall over.
Yeah.
But I'll guarantee you it won't while you're sitting there wishing it was going to.
Yeah. Parents, we got to do better. I mean, I'm not a parent, so I can't speak to parent as a parent, but I would definitely say I am concerned with this generation, a small portion of this generation. And I get it. COVID happened. COVID was real. Jobs were real. But Dave, I've seen so many young people got creative. They went online. They started online tutoring. They went out there, started cutting people's grass because they were scared to go outside. And just last week, me and John was so shocked on Friday. This young kid, 28 years old, said, man, I made $6,000 just from doing Uber, driving people around. And I'm like, wow. And people are saying there's no way to make money right now. And there is. If you're willing to put in the work, you will do it. We want you safe. We're not saying do not be safe. But at the same time, when you step up and say, you know what, I'm going to take control over my future and I'm going to become better every single day. And you can.
Yeah. Well,
I agree. And again, guys, this is the first time me seeing this particular video. And I agree with what Dave and I believe it's Anthony are saying. Parents do have to step up. And it might be like an ego thing to the sense of they don't know what they don't know, and they don't want to seem like they don't know. And I experienced that as well. I have family when they talk about I I have a grandfather who's 86. I have aunts who are in their 50s and 60s. I have uncles in their 50s and 60s. I have cousins and whatnot. I have family. And the thing is, I hear a lot of when I hit the lottery. And if I hit the lotto, I'll buy this or buy that. It sounds nice, but guys, that's that's poor man mentality. The gambling, that's a poor man mentality. Um, the lottery, it's a poor man mentality. You need to, in my opinion, I'm not rich, but in my opinion, I've always believed that, and I've read, find a problem, create a solution, deliver value. And you don't necessarily, as I'm a soon-to-be parent, you don't necessarily have to give them the magic formula that's going to make them $10 million, $1 million, 500,000, whatever. But you have to deliver that, let's say, wisdom, or your piece of wisdom, or deliver, or give them another step for them to elevate or to climb up on. And it can't be around winning the lottery or gambling. And you can't be stuck on, well, if I win the lottery, I'm gonna buy this car and this car. No. We need to change our mentality. We need to change our thought process and speak more about assets, not liabilities. And we need to know the difference between assets and liabilities. A big one is a car is not an asset in the sense of where it will appreciate and make you money. The use of it might take you to a place where you have the opportunity to make more money. Sure, using it can be an asset in the sense to where it's taking you from A to B, but the car itself is not an asset. It's a depreciating commodity. It is a liability. And people don't understand that. They think when people say I'm down payment, when I'm investing $5,000-$6,000, that you're not investing. That's not an investment. Sure, it gets you into the car, but you're not investing into an asset. You're putting money towards a depreciating commodity that's going to allow you to hopefully increase your way of life, increase your mobility, stuff like that. But I know this video kind of went. This is about refinancing a $13,000 auto loan. We kind of went left, right, up and down on this one. At the end of the day, I don't think he should refinance his 13. I never got his payment. We never got his payment, how much he's paying on the car. I don't think refinancing the $13,000 would make much financial sense unless he's in a 27% interest loan and he can get like a 6% loan or a 6% rate. That would make sense. But if his rate's like 6, 7, 9%, he's probably got another 4 years to pay on it. His payments probably, I have no idea. It could be anywhere from what, $300-$400 to $600, depending. I really don't know the structure of the deal of the loan, but I don't think it would make sense to refinance it. And like Dave said, at least he doesn't have a loan for like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. But props to William for wanting to better himself. And again, props to you, man, because that's what more people need to do. And that's really the only way you're going to get out of of the rat race or the cycle that you're in. But guys, thanks for stopping in. If you liked this kind of video, if you like this kind of content, I would appreciate a like, a subscribe. I would appreciate your feedback, what you thought was accurate, what you thought was inaccurate, what you thought could be done better. If you have any ideas, William, if you saw this video, I appreciate you let me know that you saw this video. I appreciate you. And I will be doing more videos like this on this channel. Again, I have pretty much a decade worth of experience in car sales. I've been salesman, sales manager, finance manager, floor closer. I've communicated with banks. I have an idea, not an idea. I have an understanding of how loans work, interest rates, APRs, terms, your payments, how much you're paying over the whole course of your loan. But my goal, what I'm passionate about, is teaching you how to be literate when it comes to your money. Because in today's world, the rich are just getting richer. The middle class is becoming extinct, and the lower class is really going to suffer. So there are nuggets here to help you develop your finances, to develop your know-how, and honestly, that's what I'm passionate about. I want you to better yourself. I want you to be able to take care of your parents. I want you to have a general sense to help your next generation. And you can't take care of anybody else until you take care of yourself. You can't help anybody else until you help yourself. So, if you guys like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe, leave a comment what you guys think, and you'll see me in the next video. Thank you guys, and have a great rest of your day.